Understanding Poetry by Dr. J. Evans Pritchard, Ph.D. To fully understand poetry, we must first be fluent with its meter, rhyme, and figures of speech. Then ask two questions. One, how artfully has the objective of the poem been rendered? And two, how important is that objective? If the poem's score for perfection is plotted on the horizontal of a graph, and its importance is plotted on the vertical, then calculating the total area of the poem yields the measure of its greatness.
This is what I think about slam, right? I think it is definitely its own lane. And it is, if you wanted to talk about something that's is ready to be packaged as far as a self-sufficient industry, if you want to call it that, for that's the closest that you could get to being mainstream. You know what I'm saying?
I would say if you're gonna slam, go ahead and do you, but I am not slamming, and I don't like the slam. I don't like the energy it generates. I love all poetry, and I love a lot of artists, and I don't want to get in a room and now we in competition and you treat me like you hate me. No, I don't like it.
The question is to slam or not to slam. Me, not to slam.
Oh, slam if you want to. That's what I would say. Slam if you want to. I have slammed. I enjoy the experience of the camaraderie of meeting other poets from around the world. I love seeing the different expressions. But for me, a lot of slam poetry is contrived. It's not genuine. It is for a score or for a reaction.
But what happened was the liberals, they took slam over, and that's sad to say, but they did. The left took slam over. And if you're an artist, you can't, I tell people that all the time, the young poets, if you're an artist, you can't be on the left or the right. You're an artist. We stand outside of all of them, we call out all of their bullshit. But the left took over slam and they made it politically correct, man. And so now it's like when I go out to Slam venue now, it's like watching the Democracy Now! And shit.
I just feel like a lot of poetry with the slam world is typical. I know I'm gonna hear letters to my unborn son, and I swear to God, if y'all do that poem again for the 10,000th time.
Truly, y'all all sound the same to me. But it's still a place for that too. I'm not gonna knock it. It's a place for that too. I'm not gonna knock Major League Baseball or uphold Major League Baseball and say forget the minor leagues. It's not. It all plays a part.
But I like slam. I like to go, like the best slam in the country is Queen Sheba's Rough Language. Oh my God.
Oh, I love it. It's a great platform. I still do Rough Language. I've been kind of repping, not kind of, I've been with Slam Charlotte, but I still, what I meant by kind of is I still kind of hold on to the Slam Charlotte Slam team as my family. We won 2 or 3, depending on how you count. 2005 Albuquerque when we really should have won. But anyway.
I lost a slam one time to a chick who did a freaking 30-second poem she read off a paper about her period. Now, was it the greatest poem? Obviously, because she wrote it then. And I had a 5-minute joint that got standing ovation, but I lost. But my point is, that's completely subjective. If we're looking at singing, I can look at somebody, that person can sing, that person can't. There's not, I mean, you know what I mean? There's your own personal preference in there as well, but there's a standard of at least good, if not great. It's hard to say what poetry can do because it's so subjective.
And the cadence of it, it's the cadence of it. I have no cadence. I can go anywhere. I'm not going to sound like the Talam Aces of the world. Not to throw you out there, my homie, but you have a lot of people that sound like you.
And it's the same cadence. Oh my God, it's so funny. Ooh, Jesus, oh my muse.
I don't slam. I don't take nothing away from it. I used to do it, but then I think where I was going in life, slam, it wasn't even on a perpendicular or parallel. It wasn't going to cross paths.
I I definitely respect slam poetry, and I understand what goes into it. I think for me, and this is just my own personal perspective, when I looked at slam poetry, one, being within the confines of having to do a poem within 3 minutes or 3 minutes and 10 seconds, and then writing, knowing that I am writing with the purpose of getting likes or getting points, right? And so for me, I really wanted to write more so because it was something I felt or something I felt strongly about, and not necessarily having to have the constraint of knowing that I'm writing with the intent of wanting people to like it and getting points, but just kind of having the freeness of writing it because that's what I felt and that's what I wanted to do. So slam poetry's never really been something that I've been interested in looking to pursue.
I love it. I think it's a great platform to do your best work in front of a large audience. And that's a lot of times, fortunately, unfortunately, it's kind of that line too where people who are promoting and doing shows say, oh, that poet won, so they must be good, and then bring them over. Or TV shows say, oh, that poet did that one amazing poem, or those two amazing poems, or those three amazing poems, they must be good, let me bring them to the TV show. And then they realize they don't really have the stage time, the nurturing, or the experience to do a whole set, to do an hour or two or whatever. But again, it's that thing that you got to build up. But I think slam is great.
America. What about the projects versus private-owned jets? Can't get no respect unless you want to lease this. We live in narrow. Eyes on the sparrow, terroristic tactics with suicide bomber caskets. Drastically, a man kills his whole family because his girlfriend finally made her mind up to leave him. As dawn breaks, another New Orleans victim tries to swim. Through another day, I'm gonna pray. So much AIDS and the cancer dwells up in our bodies, along with the sickle cell we can't tell. But I let my shell toes walk through the chalk line. The children overseas gotta walk with a landmine. I seen a gang member shot with a gauge. The only thing that kept his head from splitting was his braids. 9/11 shows we shot down our own play. We found no murderer for Tupac, but found Saddam Hussein. And we all a number. I often wonder if the slave master had a conscience the day he raped your grandmother. I was the youngest brother in my family tree, so all the baby daddy drama stopped with me. I choose to teach, preach, that America was built on George Washington, Carver. But if you starve out a Negro watching barter, history say it ain't worth to argue. For the law school, ain't nothing worse than an unofficial author writing what's new. Cause they say fuck truth, and the only lives that matter are the ones that shoot the ball up in Cleveland with the Cavs, or the ones that don't do interviews or quarterbacks that dab, or the ones that do them packs up in the baking soda lab. Damn. America.